Welcome to the Babbling Brooke podcast, a show where we talk any and all things related to Brooke High School. I'm your host, Mr. ZAMBITO, and I'm joined by my co-host,
FERRELL.
Pierce, what are we talking about today?
I think we should start off this little podcast of ours by mentioning all of the winter sports teams that will be in action this week whenever this episode is due to release to the public.
I think they're all in action this week. We have
boys basketball against
crew.
Morgantown.
Yep.
The girls basketball against North Marion. The swim team against a few teams.
We have wrestling, and then the
Bowling
bowling has a handful. I think they have like three matches this week. So good luck to everybody. And the bowling team's off to a nice start. Just to give bowling a little extra shout out. Coach Pepe doing a nice job with those guys.
I agree. I think they beat someone up at Morgantown a couple days ago.
Yeah, they were down in Morgantown, and I believe overall they're 3-1 on the season. But they went down in Morgantown and won. Yeah, so they're off to a nice start. And they got new. I think I mentioned it last episode. They got new shirts. And
They did.
I really like them.
You did mention it, yes.
So I'm going to say it again because I liked them. Oh, by the way, obviously we won't say anything about, to respect to you, Pierce, we won't say anything about the Oakland game. But I was in attendance, and I know everyone, sit down because you're going to shoot up when I say this. I didn't go and get a milkshake from the milkshake lady.
How? That's your trademark thing.
I don't know. Maybe just some events of the game maybe didn't really make me have much of an appetite. I say that as a joke. I just decided not to get one. I don't know.
I have a question for you, Mr. Zambito. We talked about last week about the Student of the Week thing.
Yeah.
Did we have one this week, or was that starting a few weeks?
So what we were doing, we've been compiling nominations. So behind the scenes, teachers have been nominating students. And what they're required to do is select the student with who they'd like to nominate and then just give us a little blurb as to why. And we're really looking for students who have gone above and beyond and done something that's going to garner a reaction of like, wow, like that's something that you don't see every day. A student going out of their way to do some type of good deed, some type of action that positively impacts the school. And what we're doing, the team is we're compiling those nominations, and then we're going to select our students of the week. And I think we'll announce them at the end of this semester so that we can honor them as we usher in semester 2 in January.
That's an answer to what my follow-up question was going to be, which was, do we have any official nominations? But I assume not, because those will be at the end of.
It's as we speak. It's happening as we speak. It's been sent out to all the members of the team, and we're getting input as to who we think the first nominees, the first winners, really should be out of the pool of nominees.
While we're on the topic of the end of semester 1, why don't we take about the final part, which disappoints me, the final part of semester 1, which is exam week.
Exam week. Oh boy. So the best part about exam week, if you're a student, is our exam exemption policy. So, Pierce, are you exempt from your exams?
Unfortunately not, because I have way too many classes that require them.
Fair enough. So for the bulk of students then, if you have an A or a B in your class, you have 3 or fewer unexcused absences, and you have 0 out-of-school suspensions, you do not have to take your exams. And I think that's a pretty sweet deal.
I do as well. And just to add on to that, if you don't know if your exam is exempt or not, just see a local teacher. Just see a teacher that you're concerned about.
Yeah, so you go to your homeroom teacher. Lists are out there. We have the information. You could see, if you wanted, you could see your homeroom teacher, your counselor, or any of the principals, and we could tell you pretty quickly if you're exempt or not.
We were talking before the podcast, and you wanted to mention something, but I can't remember what exactly, because you wanted to talk about something that we haven't mentioned yet.
Well, I think because we're at the end of the semester, I think maybe like just a little bit of a reflection, a little bit of recap. I mean, that's a milestone marker in the school year. How about, first of all, can you believe that we're already at the end of the first semester?
It's felt longer than I thought, but it still goes quick.
It can be one of those things when you're in the nitty-gritty of it.
It takes
like
forever.
In the late September, October. October's a rough month. It feels long. But now that we've arrived at the end of December, I mean, for me, it feels like it has flown.
October's my birthday.
Yeah?
Yeah, October's my birthday. I know that's sudden, but I just felt like just saying that out loud.
October, what day?
7th.
My daughter's birthday is October 15th.
That seems that's interesting.
So we've got three positive days in October. We've got your birthday, my daughter's birthday, and Halloween.
Halloween is the best day by far, especially for little kids.
Is that your favorite holiday?
No, it's coming up.
Yeah, same. But for my kids, absolutely. We did their first, I know this is way late in advance, they did their first trick-or-treating this year for Halloween. So, yeah, that's
a brilliant memory to have as a father.
It is. It's a special one. It's one I'll have forever. It's a fun time.
I'm just gonna roll back just for the sake of it. The Morgantown game on Tuesday. If this hasn't been released has passed that game, you have to get a milkshake just to make up for the lack of it.
Here's my thought process behind this. The more I hold out on the milkshake lady, how glorious is that milkshake going to be when I finally give in and get one? Because if you just keep getting the milkshake every single time, it loses its luster. I know I'm only saying this is probably just all smoke, because really the real deal is they're amazing every single time, and they'll always be amazing. And the line is always like into the gym. We have to move kids off the basketball court so we can play the game because everyone wants a milkshake from the milkshake lady.
I think I actually saw that happen one time. That's the funny part.
The lines consistently, Pierce, the line from the milkshake lady is long every time. The only time it's not long is when it's time for her to pack up and leave.
Or as soon as she arrives.
Yeah, or right when, I don't know. There's people salivating with money flying, waiting for her to open up shop.
I'm just going to run back to what you said about how you want to hold out as long as possible. At some point, you're just going to forget that it's the last home game with the milkshake lady, and you're just not going to be able to get one.
I can't do that. I will absolutely have my milkshake before season's end. But maybe it could be a personal challenge. How long can... Because I will tell you, it took a lot of mental discipline for me to be like, nah, not now. Just wait. You can do it. So I wonder, personal challenge, how long can I hold off until I get one? We'll see. To be determined.
I'll go out on a limb and say about 3 weeks from this episode is recorded. Your will is strong.
I appreciate that. So Pierce, I'll change direction a little bit and kind of talk a little for you personally. End of semester, sophomore year. How has your sophomore year compared so far to your freshman year?
A lot more interesting.
Yeah?
A lot more college class opportunities for those who want to take them. A lot more CTE roadways you can take.
We have a lot of college opportunities, a lot of CTE options, and that's the beauty. You're experiencing what students who take care of their business their freshman year get to experience, which is your schedule really can break open. You can have a lot more options.
Best part is you pick what you want.
That's it. And I try to explain that to freshmen who are struggling, and not because they're struggling because they're having a hard time with the content. Struggling because we're not trying our best. We're not giving forth maximum effort. To which I say, put in the work now, because your upperclassmen years, the flexibility that you have in your schedule is something that you will want. It's the best part of high school, is when you're at a point in your life where you have a really good idea of where it is that you want to go in life. We have options for pretty much any track.
The best part about high school is the events whenever you know you have nothing to worry about.
You can just enjoy it.
You can just enjoy it, and you don't have to worry about assignments.
Exactly.
You can just enjoy the place you're at and the place you be.
If you're involved with extracurriculars, if you play on a team, to know that you have done what you needed to do in the classroom and your only focus is for your team, for your sport, for your club, whatever it may be, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
I'll flip the question back at you then.
Okay.
How do you feel after your sophomore year? Not your sophomore year. After nearing the end of semester one of this school year.
I will say that I am relieved to get a break, because just the position that it's a busy day every single day, and I come in and I go hard. I work hard. I give it my all, 100%. I never leave this building and feel like I've left anything on the table. I mean, if I request that and expect that out of students, then I better be doing it too, as one of the principals. So I know that when I leave this building, I know that I've given it everything that I have to offer. But when you do that day in and day out, it takes a toll. So I'm ready for a reset. I'm ready to just get a chance to refresh, get to spend some time over the holiday with my family. And really, what I love about this job too, because it's high stress and fast paced, when I get those opportunities to just unplug with my family, I can really deeply appreciate that.
And just one more thing before we close out here. Enjoy those moments because they will only last so long.
Oh, Pierce, believe me.
I know, and I'm only a sophomore, and I'm saying that because things just fly by now.
Well, you're wise beyond your years if you have that perspective. I would tell. I used to teach middle school before I got to high school administration, and I would tell middle schoolers, even though you have spent 3 years at middle school, I know Brooke Middle does 5 through 8, but where I taught it was 6 through 8. Your 4 years of high school are going to be faster than your 3 years of middle school. It's going to be faster. I know literally it's not, but it will feel it.
It always is.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the time we have today, Mr. Zambito. Thank you for coming on this podcast with me today. I know you're a busy man.
Anytime, Pearson. When we started this up last spring, I think we really got some momentum towards the end of the year. And obviously we didn't get to start back up until probably halfway through
the second 9 weeks.
Yeah, right. Halfway through our first semester. But we talked prior to this episode. We're going to have a plan for the spring for more efficiency because this is something that we're going to want to keep rolling with. And I think, Pierce, just to kind of give a little bit of a foreshadowing, kind of a cliffhanger here until we meet again in the spring. I think we're going to start bringing on guests.
And I will add one more thing on to that. What would you think about having student guests?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We should be bringing on different students, teachers. I think the school is our oyster.
The reason I asked that is because a certain man that I know suggested it to me.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting. Wow. I think that may have to be some off-mic conversations that you and I have. But until next time, until next semester, how about that? Until next semester, until next year, Pierce. I'm your host, Mr. Zambito.
I'm Pierce FERRELL.
Be safe, be well, happy holidays, everybody.